Hello friends. So in this session, we are going to learn about rights issue. So what are rights issues? So suppose I am an existing shareholder. So as a privilege, I am entitled to certain rights issue. How does this work out? We'll see from this solved example. Okay. So suppose there is a company called ABC Limited. It has got shares outstanding total 1 million at a market price of 100 per share. I have say 500 shares and the rights issue is coming up in the market for 4 lakh new shares, 400,000 new shares at a price of 70 per share. Now, what is the value of this right? Okay, this is a question that we need to solve. So, what does that mean? We'll see in the solution. So, first of all, we need to find out this ratio n. What is the ratio n? Ratio n is the present number of shares, outstanding shares of the company divided by how much are how many number of shares are coming up in the rights issue. So 10 uh, 1 million divided by 400,000 is 2.5. What does this mean? That it means that I have 500 shares. So I have 500 rights. So for each new share, I will have to use up 2.5 rights and I will pay $70. That means I am getting at a less than market price those uh, shares as my rights. So I have two options. I can exercise a right. What does it mean? That I can get those shares from the company at rupees 70, or I can sell off my right. Rights are tradable, right? So, what is the value of the new share in that case? Since I have to utilize my 2.5 rights per new share, and I also have to pay 70 bucks for that new share. So the value of new share should be 2.5 rights plus 70. Now, as an investor, I have got two options. First is to buy the stock, and second is to buy the rights, right? Suppose I want to buy the right, and I'll tell you in what case and why we want to buy the right and not the stock. So suppose we want to buy the right, but we have to know the fair value. At what price that right should be bought at? So I have got 500 shares, right, divided by 2.5. So I am entitled to 200 rights shares, right? So the formula to calculate the fair value is MP subscript CR minus SP upon N plus 1. What is MP subscript CR? It is a market price cum rights. So this is a terminology we have used earlier also, say market price cum dividends, which means the market price includes your entitlement to get that dividend or rights issue, right? Okay. SP is a subscription price. We plug in those values. 100 is the market price cum rights minus 70 divided by 2.5 plus 1, and we get the fair value as 8.57. Now this fair value is what we have calculated. In the market, people might be willing to pay a premium for that. So this might be trading in the market at say 9 rupees, 10 rupees, something like that. Now let us see, as an investor, uh, instead of buying the stock at 100, I buy the rights at 8.57, and now the share price becomes from 100 to 108. Now what is the new value of right? So I would like to sell off my rights, suppose, for example. So since share price has become 108, this is a share price cum rights minus 70, which is what the subscription price was, and the value of right now becomes 10.5. So if I sell in the market this rights, I am expecting to get 10.5, which is like a gain of say 10.85 minus 8.57, over, I think we should divide this not by 10.85 but by 8.57, right? And then you get 26.67% return on your investment. So this is a gain to a trader who bought rights and later on when the share price went up sold the rights. Why do you do that? Because of leverage, right? So I had to invest only 8.57, but I could gain uh, the same amount as I could have got, on a share. So actually, on a very small investment, I'm going to get a large gain, and that's why rights are supposed to be traded. But this should happen within the life of rights issue. So life of rights issue might be 45 days. That is the duration in which you have to fill up the right form and submit to the firm. Okay. Now, next question is why we use n plus 1 in this formula. N plus 1, right? Not the n here. Let us see that reason. So market price come right in our example was 100. Outstanding shares were 1 million. So market capitalization was 100 million. 1 times 100 was 100 million. So suppose all rights are subscribed at 70. So company will be able to raise $28 million from the market. And total market capitalization will become 128 million. And shares outstanding will be 1 million plus 0.4 million, that is 4 lakhs. So that will be 1.4 million total outstanding shares. So the new market price is bound to fall because 128 divided by 1.4 is going to be 91.43. So at this new market price, you calculate by dividing n, because this is the market price without entitlement to the rights that company was offering. So it has to be same, 8.57 has to be same as earlier. In other words, we can say that at new price, estimated new price of 91.43, which also indicates that after rights issue, eventually the share price is going to fall. After rights issue, we should get the same fair value of rights without adding plus 1. So using n plus 1 takes into the fact that share price actually is going to come down. Okay. Now, what are the advantages and disadvantages of rights? If I exercise the right, I don't have to pay the brokerage because I'm getting directly from the company like an IPO. But and another advantage is that it reduces the gearing ratio for the company. For the company, it reduces gearing ratio for uh, for investor. It saves the brokerage. But the disadvantage is that you, for a company, has to pay the underwriting fees, which is a lengthy process, and an investor also. It is a lengthy process. You have to for investor, it's like for in 1 month you have to wind up whatever you were thinking of, right? Because that is the expiry time, say 45 days of a typical rights issue. Thank you so much.